Alright, hello everybody and welcome to your 2016 Week 11 Upton Memorial League recap. I'm your host Fozzie Wezermandams, and we're just going to be taking a look at the year thus far, what's gone on, what's gonna happen. We make our projections and predictions right now.
What we trained for all summer. Let's go. It's time to begin this journey.
Hey, this is where you worked all that time you don't see the boys right here. Let's Dallas Cowboys. Go out here and prove it today.
Nobody gives us respect. Let's take respect.
Believe in what you want to do. It starts tonight.
We gon' do. We gon' hit. We gon' hit. We gon' hit. We gon' hit. It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas.
We in for a fight for 4 quarters. 60 minutes. Give it everything you got.
Are you gonna play from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that. Anything about to touch the football, they get knocked out tonight. This is New Orleans.
Alright, so I think it's pretty obvious that the biggest story this year has been the incredible success of Jim Tan Landry. Now, this is a team that is owned and coached by Mr. Will Christophilus. He's been a fantasy star in the league for a couple years now, last year culminating with a big win due to a stat correction over Wingers in the final. Now, one has to wonder, is his team going to be enough come playoff time to match up with what has become a super team? They are only 6-4, but Shiva Somakandakram in Cheyenne's claimed farewell season. He claims he is retiring after this season, but we don't know for certain over here at the network. We speculate he could be around for years to come. We're not sure, but this guy's got a stud team. He's got Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, AJ Green. He's got Gronk, Mike Evans. This team is a team to be fucked with. I mean, this is not a team you want to mess around at all with. I don't know who has allowed him to have this team. He's made trades, he's raped people, he's raped Basil, he's raped Nico, he's committed rape several times, and he's still walking the face of the earth like it's completely acceptable. And frankly, I find it disgusting that he's allowed to roam free with a team like that. So we take a look at the standings right now, and there's really no surprises, no big surprises. The big players have come to play this season. They're showing up like they usually do. We got Will in the lead of the whole league and his division, the ass division, at 10-0. But then we've got teams like Danar having a great year this year, 8-2. Megatron of Fame. They've kind of shocked some people. Danar's usually been a middle-of-the-pack type guy, but he looks like he could make a serious run for the championship this year. We've got Winger, who just missed out on a championship last year. I mean, I felt bad for the guy. But now he's poised to win his division easily, make the playoffs, and we'll see what he can do from there. I mean, it is a contest between Danar and Winger right now. Only 13 points separates them right now. Who's going to get that week bye, the playoff first week bye with Jim Tan Landry? Because that bye is huge, because any given week, some crazy shit can go down. For example, one of the worst, most maligned teams, Harambe Lives, they were able to beat a team like Shiva Somakandakram, and that is a big upset, perhaps the biggest upset of the year. I mean, Harambe Lives is just one of the worst run organizations in fantasy football history. Their owner, their coach, Mason Pocheval, I think he's got to go. That's just my opinion. I don't think you can have this little success and keep your job. I mean, the owner, Mason Pocheval, he's going to have to look for another coach. He's got to fire himself, because right now he doesn't seem to be able to get the job done. He has gone last. He's come second last. He's been bad. This year, he's only 3-7. He's one game away from last place. It's been a bad performance from him yet again. I don't see how he keeps his job. We'll see what happens in the future. Now, a team that interests me is a team like Waviness. We all remember Waviness last year. He started out not doing too well. I think he was 2-7. Somehow, this guy shot up the ranks and made the playoffs. I mean, that was incredible to see last year. Or was it 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago. But still, this is a guy who typically no one sees as a real threat. But right now, he didn't start too hot, but he's gotten himself up to 500. He's 5-5. He is tied with Moose right now, who is the 6th seed, the final wild card spot. It's going to be anyone's contest to see who can get into that final wild card spot. Now, you wonder, does a team like Waviness have what it takes to mess around with the big boys in the playoffs? Me, looking from the outside, I'm going to say no. He's got DeMarco Murray, who's been one of the best fantasy players this year. It's good to see him return to form. Terrell Pryor's been very good too. He claimed him off the waiver wire. That was a great selection off of a terrible drop by much maligned owner and coach Mason Pocheval. Now, he's got Tyrod Taylor at QB, kind of iffy. We'd like to see more there. But, you know, there's potential here. Any week, LeGarrette Blount could go off for 4 touchdowns. You don't know. He might have a 5-carry game where Bill Belichick doesn't want to give him the ball. Or he could have 4 touchdowns and put up 30 points. You don't know. So maybe, hopefully, he's hoping that he can save it all for this final stretch and catch some luck in the playoffs. But another team we want to talk about is Super Saiyan AP. 2-8 right now. And this guy traded away. He had Rob Gronkowski and Matt Forte on his team. And he said, no, I'd rather have a bucket of shit and a pile of nails. That was one of the worst trades this season. Once again, Shiva committing absolute rape on the Super Saiyan AP team. And Super Saiyan AP has fallen. He was in playoff contention not too long ago. But now he's 2-8. His team has been decimated. He's put up the third worst points for total this year. Behind, he's 3-7, he's 9th in the league, but he has not performed well, and that's I Pity the Fool. Typically, you look at Weekend and you think, man, this guy, he plays by the books, he reads his guides, he knows what he's doing, he makes a good draft choice every now and then, but right now, I don't know what's happened to this guy's team. He wasted his first-round pick on Devontae Freeman, who's had an okay season, but not a first-round pick in my opinion. And then Jamal Charles he took in the 2nd round, and that is just a killer move. I mean, poor luck for poor I Pity the Fool. I mean, that's unfortunate. Spencer Ware turned into a fantasy beast, and he was let go by Harambe Lives, once again owned by much maligned owner Mason Pocheval. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He injures players by putting them on his roster. He traded for Dez gets injured the next week. He trades for Decker gets injured the next week. He drafts Josh Gordon. He's about to come back, make some plays, hopefully turn the season around. No, he goes to the fucking rehab for some fucking reason. He couldn't do it in the first 4 fucking weeks. I'm pissed off. He fucking trades for AP. He's out for the season. He's made, you can't say bad moves. It's just unlucky shit has happened to this guy this season, and I don't think he's going to be able to recover mentally for years to come. He's got to be devastated. He passed up on Zeke for DeAndre Hopkins, who's turned into a fantasy bust this year. He's a wide receiver 3 at best going forward. It is bad. Now, Gautam is putting on a good show. I mean, Gautam didn't do too well last year, but, you know, right now, he's 6-4, but don't let that fool you. He's 6-4, but a team that is 2-8 in Chupacabra, owned by Amethan, is only 20 points for back. 20 points for back, but he's had 170 more points scored on him. He's had a stroke of bad luck. Gautam's team is not a playoff team in my opinion. It's just not. And he's 6-4. We'll see if he can hold on to that spot. It looks like he's going to, but we'll see. With Nico and Moose having 5-5 records, I don't know. They could both vaulter up into the rankings, and fullbacks could drop out. We're not sure. But it's all speculation at this point. What we want to do here is get some cold, hard facts. We want to hear how the master himself does it. We're going to get a call on today with the show for Will Christophilus. We want to talk to him, see what he's doing, see what the methodology is, see how he delivers year after year after year. I'm excited to talk to him. Maybe you guys listening can learn something for your fantasy teams as well, because this is the gold standard. Mr. Will Christophilus, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great over here at Kate Upton Memorial League Sports Network. So, my first question for you is, how have you managed to have success year after year? I didn't actually hear what you said. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, sorry, I just went through an elevator. You gotta give me 2 seconds here.
So it appears that Will is too busy for us here at the network, and we get that. Because Will is a stud. He's probably got paparazzi around him. He's on the longest winning streak in history right now. I'm not sure what it is dating back to last season, but if you count the playoffs alone last season, he is on a 13-game win streak, and that is impressive.
Now, I'd like to add something into that, your point there, Mason. I did start the year last year 2-4, and so if you think in my last 20 games, I probably won around 18 of them.
And,
so, you know.
And what is the key to all your success?
The key to success is not overvaluing players in the draft. That is the key to my success. Taking Drew Brees in the 8th round.
That was a great pick. He's having a hell of a season, I would say.
Yeah, and then, again, overvaluing taking Jordy in the 2nd round and then flipping him for Odell, who was a top 3 pick.
Yeah. And tell me exactly, how were you able to turn Jordy Nelson into Odell Beckham? I don't understand this. How did you do it?
Now, here's the key to that whole trade. It was not even the Jordy Nelson for Odell. It was the backup part of the trade, which was Michael Peanut Thomas for Philip Dorsett. Yeah. Now, what happened is I approached Nico saying, Yo-Dell. Exactly the word Yo-Dell. And he said, and he came out, he said, Jordy. And I said, no. Because at the time, Jordy's having a great season. I said, no. And I said, I'll make the deal if you throw in Michael Peanut Thomas and I'll throw in Dorsett. And he jumped at it, and he accepted the trade. Not only has Odell been outperforming Jordy most of the season now, Michael Peanut Thomas was then later flipped with Tevin Coleman for the arguable Hall of Famer, Offensive Player of the Year, Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, that is impressive. So you're able to turn Philip Dorsett into 200-yard back-to-back stud Jay Ajayi.
That is correct, yes.
Wow. And so basically what I'm hearing is the strategy is pretend you're not interested. So you were able, even though you probably would have done Jordy for Odell straight up, you said, hey, how can I get even more? You don't stop at the minimum. You say, I want the maximum.
Now, not to give away most of my techniques, but yes, I was most likely going to do Jordy for Odell straight up. You always got to say no at first, you get offer more. And he didn't, but I then just threw in Dorsett at the time. He was a bit of a valuable player. He was second best wide receiver as Mall Creek was out, and Peanut Thomas he's the 3rd wide receiver in New Orleans, or so they call him the 3rd wide receiver. Well, I really see him as the 2nd wide receiver because Willie Snead is not even on the field half the game, and Michael Thomas is in a wide receiver corps that's known for being spread the ball around a lot. He has to be the most consistent target on that team. And later people started to realize that, and that's pretty much it. That's how I pretty much developed him into a strong asset to trade for the Hall of Famer Ajayi.
Damn, okay. And one final question is like, we understand that we see production from stud players and we know who to go after, but how do you spot a diamond in the rough, like say a Jordan Howard, and know to capitalize that on that early? Because you were big on him from the beginning of the season, and he's turned into a bit of a fantasy monster.
Now, as you know, I've been out for seeing 2nd or 3rd backs that could eventually take over the number 1 job. I know Jeremy Langford, he sucks. He's about an average 3 yards per carry kind of player. He's pretty awful.
Yeah, we saw Mason draft him earlier. That was clearly a mistake. He's a novice owner. You're a champion.
Made a terrible call there. Pretty much was all I could say about that. And then you look at it. I look at Jordan Howard. He's a good young rookie. I think he's top 6 or 7 running back in the draft class. And the Bears, their offensive line is not bad. And when you have Jay Cutler at the helm, you're going to run the ball quite a bit. And I saw that, and it's usually what I do. I also picked up Jacquizz Rodgers, who went off for 2 weeks. Now Doug Martin's back. He's actually about to get dropped. If anybody wants to, pick him up. Jay Ajayi, I don't know if I ever had him at this point, but I picked up Kenyon Drake, who could have easily been the that was Phil's right in the hot hand. If Kenyon Drake came in out of the game, he would have been the starting running back. But now we know that Ajayi is a Hall of Famer.
I just gotta say I'm impressed. You've got 2 future Hall of Fame running backs starting for you right now in Ezekiel Elliott and Jay Ajayi.
Howard and Jay Ajayi, yeah.
Wait.
Jordan Howard and Jay Ajayi.
What about Ezekiel Elliott?
Ezekiel Elliott's expendable. I'm looking to. I wish I could trade him right now, but I can't. I'm looking for maybe a top 2 kicker
Well, there you go, everyone. Check the waiver wire. Ezekiel Elliott might be dropped at any time. Will says he's expendable. Thank you for being
on. To the fact that he can be in jail at any time next week. So Alfred Moore's on my bench, so I'm really lucky for that also.
You are a scumbag, and I wish the worst upon you. Thank you for your time. Now, we talked to Will. Now, let's see the other side of the coin in a complete disaster of a fantasy football player. This guy's bad. It's that simple. He's never been good. Even from back in the day, not even before the Kate Upton Memorial League, this guy was putrid. We'll give him a call. We're going to see what exactly is going through the head of this guy. And of course, I'm talking about the Glory Boys owner and coach, John Mark Cameron. John Mark, how are you today?
I'm good, sir.
So, basically, I want to know why you're so bad and why you continue to play.
Shut the fuck up.
This is
a very loaded and disrespectful question.
Well, you're 2-8 right now. You're looking like you're going to be having to stand out on the street in your underwear, or maybe something even worse. What makes you think that it's okay to field a team with Giovanni Bernard, Jamison Crowder, and Robert Woods? What makes you think that's even acceptable to your fans and to your followers, that you can put out a team that terrible and expect them to keep following you?
You know what, man? Something just happened. The season didn't start out that way. Allen Robinson has been a disappointment. Started with Sammy Watkins, had Danny Woodhead, had some pretty good pieces. Just didn't work out the way I planned them.
So, our question here is, we haven't seen much success from your organization. Are you thinking of firing the coach, maybe hiring a new one to coach on your behalf?
I think that's the route we're going to take. We're going to have to look to our options during the draft as well. Change up our strategy, see what goes.
So which coaches are you looking at? I know there's a few in the free agent market. There's a Sammy Abdo looking to coach a team. Are you thinking of maybe going his direction, or where are you leaning right now?
You know what? We're just gonna gauge our options right now, see who we like. We might even stick with the same coach and just change the GM. We don't know yet.
All right. Well, I gotta say your matchup this week is probably the biggest of your season. You're going against another terribly coached and terribly run team in Harambe Lives. And right now, this could determine who's going to be last place. It really could.
I think I'm confident enough to pull out the victory. I have some easy matchups this week with some of my players. I think I can pull it out.
So are you guaranteeing victory?
I am not going to guarantee a victory, but I think I like my chances going into this matchup.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk to us here at the network, and good luck in your upcoming matchup. You're terrible.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye. All right. Well, there you have it. We saw two sides of the different coin, of the same coin, of the boing, boing, boing. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking forward to these final 3 weeks. Once again, it's divisional matchups all the way until the playoffs. Anything could happen. Here's where we're going to give you our projections and predictions for the playoffs. So we're going to say first place is going to get a bye. That's going to be Jim Tan Landry. I think that's pretty obvious. He is on a high right now, and it doesn't look like he's coming down anytime soon. And I'm going to predict that with the next bye is going to go to Dana Facey. Beast Mode has an easier... Dana Facey. Beast Mode has a bit of a tougher road. Waviness has shown some potential, so that could be a loss. But I don't see Dana losing to Basel, Amethan, or Gautham. Those are three bad teams despite Gautham's records. Those two are going to be the top two seeds. And then filling out the playoffs, I think Waviness is going to be able to sneak in there. I don't know how he does it, but he always finds a way late season to get into the playoffs. We're going to say Waviness, Shiva, probably Waviness, Shiva, Beast Mode, and it's between AFG and fullbacks, and I'm gonna have to give it to fullbacks. AFG's just got way too difficult of a division, really. He's got Will. He's got Cheyenne. Those are 2 stud teams. Rakan's team's not looking so good this year, but that's a good owner. He'll bounce back. So in the playoffs, we got Will, Cheyenne, Danar, Gautam, Winger, and Nico. We got 2 teams from each division. That's what we like to see, parity in the league. And I really, really think it's going to come down to the final. I'm going to say Shiva is able to knock Will out if they match up in the playoffs. I think he's going to do it. I know it's kind of crazy to bet against the perfect team, but the Patriots lost in 07, and Will can lose here. So I'm going to say Will's gone, and it's going to be Cheyenne, Danar final. And Cheyenne's going to ride off into the sunset as the 2-time champion, and then he's going to come out of retirement like his idol, Brett Favre. Thanks for joining us here at the Upton Memorial League Sports Network, and we will see you next time, fucknuts.